And joining us now, Democratic Senator Jackie Rosen of Nevada. She's a member of the Armed Services Committee. A lot to talk to you about, Senator. We'll start, though, with this draft opinion that was leaked. Your reaction to it, is the story the leak or the contents of the document?
The story is the contents of the document, because this puts the women's right to privacy, women's right to have control over their own reproductive health choices center stage. And so if this right to privacy, if this precedent, 50 years of settled law, is overturned, as we said in the prior piece, what's next? So we need to move this issue front and center. This is why the Senate's really important. I'm chair of the Women's Senate Network for the DSCC. We have to be sure we can keep the incumbents we have, like Senator Cortez Masto, add more women to our ranks, and increase our Democratic majority to protect a woman's right to choose and all of our rights to privacy.
Senator Rosen, good morning. I'm curious, what is your message to the millions of Americans, women, yes, but many more Americans as well, who are deeply concerned this morning, who have taken to the streets yesterday, who are outside the Supreme Court, who see a right that's been available in most places in the country for 50 years now, looking like it's going to be taken away from them? What recourse do they have? What do you say to them today?
Well, what I want to say to them today is to take that fear, that anger, that concern, and turn it into action. How do they do that? They mobilize at the ballot box. They mobilize to be sure that we keep our majority in the Senate and add to it, just like I spoke about, that we look at those races up and down the ticket in each and every one of our own states. We can't be quiet, because there's tragic consequences if Roe v. Wade is overturned. Think about a woman, could be your wife, your mother, your sister, an aunt, an uncle, a best friend, who has an ectopic pregnancy or a miscarriage, who can't get the critical life-saving treatment at a hospital. Think about maybe a young girl or anyone who's been the victim of rape or incest and having to still carry that burden, a second victimization, and just the fact that women want control over their lives, and nobody should be in our doctor's offices with us. And so it's really important that we take that anger, take that fear, turn it into action, and turn it into mobilizing at the ballot box. That's where we win. We don't want a nationwide abortion ban. Electing Democrats up and down the ticket will protect that.
Senator Rosen, Elise Jordan here. There are plenty of Democrats who are saying that Roe versus Wade must be made into the law of the land and codified into law. How likely is it that Democrats could make that happen in this Congress?
Well, we're going to try to explore any options we have to do that. But frankly, I'm not sure that we have the votes. And so what we're going to have to do, again, is try to mobilize and organize, move any way and anyone that we can to move this issue forward, because I can just tell you my phone's been ringing off the hook, text messages, calls coming in. Women and girls are crying. They're scared. They don't want to go back 50 years. And the stories, I don't have to tell you, you've been highlighting them. The stories of the tragedy, it's not going to stop abortions. It's just going to stop women from getting safe abortions. And I don't want to have to go on the news and have my colleagues say, this is terrible, what a tragedy, when they still try to move forward a nationwide abortion ban. So I want to avoid that. We're going to try to do everything we can. But I do believe our action now is at the ballot box in November and going forward.
Democratic Senator Jackie Rosen of Nevada, thank you very much for coming on the show this morning. And coming